out.
Yeah, I can. I'm going to try it. I don't know that it's going to work. I haven't been publishing anything, Linda. So just because every time I've got to figure something new out. And I need to learn how to use a whiteboard better to help you guys. And I don't know. Now let me share. Let me start presenting. And I want this screen. Okay, share. Okay. Here we go.
So when you said Lois, you mean Lois Passman?
Yeah. So she technically signed up, but
I know she signed up, but it's going to be like the 6th class.
I know. So I told her even if she doesn't get it and she kind of just wants to sit in and listen, and I am going to re-record all these sessions. I started the other day re-recording all the classes in this unit. So we'll see. I just told her if she wants to come just to kind of hang with us, that's fine. So you know, I don't know. She wants to learn, but yeah, when you miss 6, it's kind of hard to catch up. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. Okay, well, here we go. Let's see what you guys are seeing. Okay, so let me do this first. Okay, so you guys can see my screen okay?
Yes.
Does it need to be any bigger or is that okay? Is that okay? Okay. So does anybody recognize the first line? So this is a big first line. Okay. So Linda, what is the first line? What do you think this prayer is?
I don't know, but that's what they say when they're going to read from the Torah when they come up.
That's the answer I needed. Exactly. It's the blessing before the Torah. So
but since I never had a bat mitzvah, I never did it.
Okay. Well, like I said, that's still an option. Oh, and Linda, I think I did email you a line in that email, that joint email, to let you know that they said that your ID should work. That's what they told me. So,
well, one of these days when I'm down there by myself in the car, I'm going to try.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what they said. But so at the end of the class,
I didn't see that, but thank you for telling me that.
Okay. Oh, good. So at the end of the class,
I wanted to mention something.
Sure.
Madison, in that line there, Adonai is 2 yuds.
Yes.
And I see that in, I have a couple of different prayer books. One is from a very Orthodox shul in San Francisco that I used to go to. And another is from the military at Fort Ord. And then I have a small Army bulletproof one, which they don't issue anymore, and it's a little prayer book.
Right.
And I notice a difference in some of the language as I go from one to the other, and that's the third word is Adonai, and yet if you were to see it in another form, it would be spelled out in a different way.
Right. And you know what that is, right?
Well, yeah, you know what that is because of the
right. But I'm saying but you know, because I don't know if Ted knows, so that's what I'm saying. So Donald, do you want to tell us the reason why it's 2 yods instead of spelled out?
I don't know that offhand. I know that it's not something that one can spell out. It's sort of religiously you avoid the actual letters, which are very sort of they're sacred in the sense that you never pronounce them, and that's the yod and the vav and the 4 letters, the what they call it, the tetragram.
Yeah. So hi Mickey. Hopefully she can hear us. Can you hear us? Hopefully she can hear me.
Oh, she can't see me waving.
Okay. So yeah. So
hi Mickey.
Hi Linda. Hi everybody.
Hi. Okay. So yeah. So just if you do not know, we're assuming that no one knows, or maybe someone later, if this recording works, we'll see it. Sorry guys, my eyes have been itchy. when you have the either the yod and the yod like this to stand in for Adonai, or you have during teaching, rabbis have said now that it's okay to say it when you have students, the letters, because how are the students going to learn if you never say the letters? Do you know what I mean? So if you have it written out yod hey vav hey, that's so if you have it written out that way, you're correct. We never say it the correct way. We always say Adonai. And technically, one of the reasons they say that is because, yes, it was a sacred name, and we never really know how exactly it was pronounced, but we kind of really do have an idea. So Christians will say, and because we're teaching, I can't explain it without saying it, but Christians will say that that's Yahweh or whatever, and it's pretty much very close to that. But because that is our sacred name, we honor God's name by not saying it. And we also honor God's name by not spelling it out. But when you're reading the Torah itself, it will be in the Torah. It'll be it'll be written Yod He Vav He. So when you see that together with no vowels, that's Adonai. So, and yeah, so as long as the modern teaching is as long as you're being respectful, you can use Adonai, or you can use, if you're transposing it from Hebrew to English, you can use the word Lord. Those are kind of the acceptable things. If you're in a mixed group, you may have Christians use what they feel is the traditional name, and that's just your comfort level, whether you're comfort in those settings. But in traditional Jewish settings, you're right, we don't use that. So but this is the reason why I pulled this up to look at is because Ted got to come up and do an Aliyah, right?
I did.
You did. And there were two things on the page, right, Ted?
Yes.
So when you went up on the page, you had the Hebrew, and then you had what else did you notice on the page?
The transliteration.
Exactly, the transliteration. So but when you're learning Hebrew, I always tell people to stay away from the transliteration, because I think I told you the story about me. I tend to sing in transliteration. And I'll tell you what, I'm currently taking a test, or I'm going to be taking a test for my my lay leader course, certification course. And I have to tell you, there's some songs that I've been singing so long in the translit. When you switch over to Hebrew, it's really, really hard. So I just want to remind you guys that although transliteration, when you're going up to read it in front of the synagogue, is fine, the sooner you can learn this, if you think you're going to do more aliyahs, the better, because it's a bad, bad habit to get into. So believe me. Okay. So Ted, do you remember what the first word is? The first word that you sang was, or that you guys said together was?
I do not. I was really just kind of following along the rest of the people up there.
That's okay. So let's kind of like sound this out together. Okay. So we know, and here's these nasty syllables are coming again. And this is where I need to learn how to use a whiteboard for you guys. So the first three letters are what sound? So these.
Or
So say it again. I'm sorry, I talked over someone.
or
Okay. So bar, B-A-R.
bar. That's right. I
Yep.
learned the old way.
That's okay. Yeah, exactly. So, so bar. So we want to say bar. Now, does anyone know what the last three or two consonants and one vowel is?
It's
What? Yeah, right here. I'm trying to see if so that's a what sound?
Oh.
Okay, so it's a h, so it's
Okay.
bar. And then we have the dot in the middle of the vav, right? So we know it's a vowel, okay? And this dot, this vowel sound, Ted, if you have a dot in the middle of a vowel at the end, it's like an ooh sound. So if you think about somebody took a ball or someone took a fist and punched the middle of the vav or punched you, you would go ooh, right? The ball would, if your ball hits you in the stomach and really fast, you're going to go ooh. And that's the same sound that makes. So it's bar, ku, right? So let's do that all together. Ready?
Barhu.
Barhu.
Okay.
Yep, barhu. Okay. Now, to go back, does anybody remember the two dots, right? Okay. Does anyone remember what those are called?
Sure. Sure.
Dagesh. Is that a
So
dagesh?
the dagesh is this
Shava.
dot in the B there. Who said shava?
Me.
That's good job. It's the shava. So the dagesh is in the B, and that's how we know
Okay.
it's not a V. Because in the beginning, they're teaching us, geez Louise, my eye. They're teaching us that the B versus the B sound by using the dagesh. So that's how we know it's a bar. But we also know that the syllable stops because we have the shava. And the shava is either a vowel or a syllable breaker. But one of the rules we learned is if the shava happens in the middle of the word, it's usually a what?
It's a syllable breaker.
Yeah, exactly. If the shava happens in the middle of the word, it's usually a syllable breaker. So that's it. So the first word is barku, right? Okay. Now let's just try this second one. So does anyone want to give a shot at what this second word is?
Et.
Okay, it's et. So Linda, can you tell us how you came up with, or how you know is et? Because this is a vowel that Ted hasn't seen yet.
Well, I know the vowel. So it's an aleph with a vowel underneath it. So, and the vowel is eh. And then the consonant after that to
Correct.
tough.
Okay, so the vowels, I call those eggs in a basket because they make the S sound like in eggs, or bad in bed.
Okay.
So that's the three dots like that. It kind of looks like eggs. So that's your S sound. So that's how so when we do our zigzag reading, we start with the aleph. What sound does aleph make? Does aleph make an ah?
No,
No.
it's silent.
Exactly. Aleph is silent. So we go down to the vowel. So then the vowel makes the first sound, which is what?
Eh.
Correct. And then we're going to diagonally go up to our next consonant. And our next consonant has a toe. So it's what again?
Tav.
Tav. So we have the sound and the t, right? So et. Okay. So let's read the first two words together. Ready?
Barhu.
Barhu.
Et.
Et. Okay. Now, Donald already brought up when you see a yod, and this is a yod with a what underneath it? The first one is a yod with what?
Shava.
Shiva.
Silent.
A shava, correct. And the second one is a yod with a what?
A vowel.
It is a vowel. What vowel?
Ah.
Kumats. Kumats.
It's a kamatz, yeah.
It's a kamatz. Yep. And so some people say this is Yah. Yah. Have you ever heard anyone use the word Yah to relate to God? Or Yah. So technically, if you were to say it the way it sounded here, it'd be Yah. But we just know it's what again?
I don't know.
And the noise.
Adonai. Correct. So let's do all three words in this sentence so far. Ready? Ready?
Barhu et Adonai.
Yep.
Et.
Barku.
Et
Okay.
Adonai.
Adonai.
I don't know.
Okay. Now, let's start with the next set. So the first syllable is what? Someone tell me.
Ha.
Ha.
It's hamivara.
Okay, it's ham. Yes, it's ham. How do we know the first syllable's ham again?
Because it's the petak under it.
No, it's got the what under it?
Oh, the second word, the second letter, it's
That's
a break.
Yes, it's a syllable breaker. And so the first syllable is ham.
Tom.
Exactly. So that's how we know we stop. We have the consonant, a vowel. So we have ha, and we keep going because there's nothing to tell us to stop. So we go to this side and we have so ham. And then we get the stop sign or the syllable breaker that says, okay, that's done. Now we're going into a new vowel or a new syllable. Okay. So ham. So, okay. Now the next sound is what? Oh
V.
boy.
V.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Amivara.
then, okay, so we have ham, va, and these last three are together.
Well, the last letter is silent. It's an end letter.
So it is a final letter, but it's it's Barku et Adonai Ham
Amivara.
Varach. So there is that little, that's the final CH. Ham Varach.
Is it Hamvrach or Hamvorach? Is there a dot on the top of the vet?
There probably is a dot, ham, because it's Ham Vorach. So you're correct. It's just the little
You can't see it.
Yeah, the little hole in vav is cut, or the little holam is cut off the top, and that's an O vowel. Just so everyone remind everyone it's a whole O vowel, and we're gonna look at whole O vowels in a minute. So one more time, let's do the whole line. Ready? All together. Ready? Bar.
Well, who et Adonai Hami.
Adonai Hamvorach.
Right. So just so you know, if you hear someone sing it, Barku et Adonai Hamvorach. And then what does anyone remember what happens after the first person does that?
Yeah, the congregation answers
Yeah. And what do they answer?
that second line.
They do it again. Barhu et Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Correct. Now, so Barku is a call, and I don't want to get into that, but I just want to tell you, let's go to the second thing just really quick. The second line, I'm circling it. This is lay, okay, and we'll talk about this. Lay o lam va ed, okay? And you're going to see that a lot, and I just want you to know it means forever and ever. Lay o lam va ed, okay? And I just want to tell you a funny joke or a funny story to help you remember lay o lam va ed. We had a big rabbinical discussion the other day in my college Hebrew class. And technically speaking, you know how Buzz Lightyear says to infinity and beyond? Le'olam va'ed is technically what Buzz Lightyear would have said in Hebrew. So I don't know if that helps you remember it. So we've been walking around saying Le'olam va'ed, putting our finger up all week. So if that helps you remember Buzz Lightyear, he would shout in Hebrew, Le'olam va'ed. And that's just forever and ever. Okay. Now, I am going to go back to, okay. I'm going to go back to a different classroom. Okay. Last year. Okay. I am going back into last year because I want to show you something. Come on, open. There is the alphabet slide, week 5. Okay, nope. You guys are like, oh, that looks familiar. Okay, let's go to our vowels here. Okay, here we go. That's, oh, no. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, is this too small or is this okay? Is this okay?
It's small
Okay, here.
to me.
There you go. Okay, is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so we just showed this new vowel that we talked about, and this was the eggs in a basket, right? And so the X, Ted, I don't know if you know, the X stands for either any kind of vowel that you would put, any kind of consonant, I mean, that you would put in there. That's what the X stands for. You either see people use X as a placeholder for a consonant, or you'll see them use a box, okay? And so we have A as an egg, like we explained. And of course, iron is another one that has no sound. So, oops. So I wanted you to see down here, and I know my pointer is really small. On line 1, we would have the sound ah, ra, rev, erev. God, why can't I touch it? Sorry, erev, and then ba. So that's just an example of what it looks like, because all these ions are again vowel holders. In ancient days, did ion have a sound? Absolutely. Does it have a sound now? Not at all. So in the past, that's just another example of a guttural vowel that had air pushed through its, we would push air through our lungs 2,000 years ago, probably was a breathy or something. We just don't have the ability to make those sounds anymore. So on line 2, so let's try line 2 together. Ready?
Meh,
Yeah. Right.
Re,
re,
Yep.
ah,
Yep.
eh,
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
ah,
Yep.
e,
E. Yeah, we haven't done that one yet, but E. Yep.
Eh.
eh,
Exactly. So that's exactly right. Now let me see if I can find. Okay. Okay. So here's the vowel review. And I forgot I need to fix these slides. Okay. So most vowel marks are found under the letter or over the letter. Okay. All of the sounds under the letters are usually A type sounds. So the first one would be what? Does anyone remember what that one is?
e,
What are we doing?
So right here, the
Oh.
vowel review where it says on the left side, you see the shin. Do you see the shin with the 3 dots under it? And then there's a box with the patak, and then a box with the hirik under it.
Shirig.
So for instance, under the shin, you see the 3 dots, right?
yes,
Mhm.
Okay. And that would be she, or if it was sin, it would be C. Okay.
wouldn't it be she or se?
Yeah, that would probably be a better way to say it. It'd be whatever the S sounds under the sh or the sound. In fact, you almost never find eggs. I call them eggs under a sin. You usually only find eggs under a shin. Just, I don't know. If you're using a sin, you know, the samic, then you'll have different letters. But yeah, so whoever said that better than I did. Okay. So this one, if this was a shin too, it'd be sha, right? And then what would the first one be with the single dot? E. Yeah.
E,
So if it was a shin again, it'd be she, right? E sound. And the way, Ted, one of the ways that I tell people to remember this is if you were standing on a chair or standing in this box and there was a mouse underneath your chair, or if a lady, maybe not a guy, or the squirrel that got in my office the other day, you better believe I kind of went eek when the squirrel almost jumped on my desk. So think of the E as a small mouse underneath the letter, and it says eek or E, you know what I mean? That's what you can say. Now, so vowel marks, most vowel marks are found below the letter. Okay. Some vowel marks are found over the letter, correct? So for instance, try to get it bigger there. So for instance, is that a little better? We have the holam right here. And if you think of it this way, if you're looking up and a ball hits you in the face, what are you going to say?
You don't want to
Looking
know.
up. Oh, well,
Oh,
you're going to say, oh, correct. Oh, no. Oh, right. Yeah. Probably as adults, we're not going to say, oh, anymore. But there should be an I there, right? For some of us, but we would say, oh. So whether it's an olam over the top or whether this one vowel is called an olam vav, because the vav in this case does not make a V sound. All it does is hold this vowel. Okay. So these are O and O. And the best way I've found to think about it is if a ball's coming towards you and it's going to hit you in the head, it's an O. If a ball is coming, if someone hits you in the stomach with a ball, what are you going to say?
Ooh.
Ooh, right. So you're going to get hit up here, you're going to say, oh, like, oh my gosh, you're surprising me. Or you're going to get hit in the stomach and you'll be like, ooh, right? Those are how that goes. Okay. Okay, we will not go into volley. Okay, let me find a different week. Okay, hold on. Find a better week. Right to the very beginning. Let me find your. Is that the vowel one? I'm trying to find the one that I gave you with all the vowels. Flashcards. No flashcards. Oh, there we go. Here, vowels. You knew it was there somewhere. Okay, so can everyone see this pretty big?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Good. Okay, so our first letter, our first vowel here is kamatz. So this is available in the first set of the Hebrew school classes. I will try to repost it, but if not, Ted, if you need access to, you can't get access to this, let me know, but I think you should be able to. This is kamatz. And this, remember, is the ah, the open ah. And this is patak. That's our ah too, right? Okay. And technically one is longer and one is shorter. Can someone tell me which one is technically longer?
Hamatz.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Kamat is technically longer. Is it a lot longer?
No.
No.
No, not at all. Okay. Now let's skip over. We just learned a new one today called segol, and that's the eggs in the basket. Okay. If you think of it this way, kamatz also sounds like ah. Kamatz sounds like how you'd say it. Patak, your mouth goes straight. It sounds like it says it. Segol is the is in there like egg, right? And shava is our up and down. Okay, so shava is our syllable breaker, or it is a very, very
Silent.
short. Say that again, Donald. I'm sorry.
Silent.
Yep, it's normally silent if it's on the beginning of the word, and it's a very super short E or A sound. If it's in the middle of a word,
It's
or
a,
no, in the beginning it's
it's a
super
breaker.
short. Yeah, in the beginning it's a super short. Usually in the middle it's a syllable breaker. I did it backwards. Sorry. Okay, the next one is holam. Okay, and holam is the O over your head. So think holam is O. You're going to hit me in the head with the ball. O. Okay, or the one next to it is olam vav. They make the same O sound. It doesn't matter whether there's a letter in front of the vav and they share that O, and I'll explain that later, or whether it's an O. As long as it's overhead, it's O. Okay. And now we're going to go down, and we have the sharuk right here. Okay. And this is the oo. Okay. So ooh. Okay. Now, We also have the kibbutz. And when you think of the kibbutz, the best way to think about it is it's a set of stairs. So you have three things going down the stairs. So if a ball hits you in the tummy, it's going to be a sharp ooh, right? Now, if you're falling down a stairs, I always imagine people going, ooh, you know what I mean, as they go down farther. So you're holding the vowel longer because, you know, think of yourself as you fall down the stairs, you're trying to regain yourself. And so you're probably going to hold it down longer. Ooh, right? Or in cartoons, you know, the guy would scream all the way down the cliff, right? So it's just he's going down the line and he's saying ooh. So we have the kibbutz is ooh and the sharuk is ooh. So, okay. Now we have the sharik sounds just like it says sharik, E, E, E. And that's the one that I say is like a mouse. It's a sharp E, E, like a I-E almost, like an I, meaning an I, not an I-E, I-E. I'm sorry, that was confusing. Sharik, E, 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 E. And then we'll talk about the hatafs later. So we have the basic vowels now. We have the As, the A sounds, which are kamatz, patak. Okay, we have the segol, which is an A sound, or an E sound. The shabaz is more of an E sound. The holam is an O sound, okay? And then we have the oo, which is the sharuk, and the kibbutz is the oo. And then we have the E. So now we've just basically reviewed all the vowels, okay? Is everyone okay with that? Yeah? They didn't lose anyone, right? Okay. Okay, let's go back to this year. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let me go back. Oh, darn it, guys. I got to go right back into this again. You get to watch me. Going to here. Hopefully I don't have anything weird. Let's see. My kid's screaming or something. Saying, Mom, pick me up. Sometimes they send me really weird emails. My kids are goofy. Okay, here we go. Fall. Okay, back to today's class. Classwork. Okay, chapter 5. Okay, now. Okay. Oh, is this, do you guys, I need to open this, right? Because is it too small? No. I think
It's
you
fine.
can see it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we kind of had a big word today already when we were doing Hamevorak, right? So there's some similarities to this word with Hamevorak. So we know we have, what's the first syllable already we can notice?
Hav.
Yeah, Hav. So we have the hey, the, anyone remember this vowel?
Let's say it's a petach.
Yes, a patak and a vav. So Hav. So we have Hav, okay? And then does someone want to try the next syllable?
Da.
Da, correct. So we have Hav, Da, and does someone else want to try the last syllable?
La.
No.
La. Okay, now, why is this syllable la like this? Okay, why isn't it have two vowels or anything? Does anyone know why it would look like this? Does anyone
What's
know?
the question again?
Okay, so we have an L, A, and an H, and it makes the la sound, la. Okay, it's not la, ha, it's la. Do you know why it makes the la sound, not la? Do you understand the difference in this pronunciation?
No.
Because
Yes,
hey at
because
the end.
Let's say silent.
silent, right?
Yeah. So, hey at the end of a word, okay, without any more
Silent.
vowels is silent. And that's what I wanted to point out again. And that's one of the sheets that I gave you last week. One of the basic tips on the back is that a hey at the end of a word is silent. Like, and there probably is an exception somewhere, but for the most part, that's the case. Okay. So we have Hav, Da, and La. Okay. Now, can I tell you if you put a La in it and add more of an H at the end, does it really, can you tell the difference? You really couldn't tell the difference, right? You just,
Havdalah, how could you say?
yeah, Havdalah. So, so it's however you say it is pretty much okay, because in the Torah, one of the reasons to read it this way is the fact that, remember, there's no A, there's no kamats there. So if you have an L and an H, you know you're going to have a la sound. So it's just when you're reading it in normal Hebrew that silent really comes into play, which I kind of confused you, I bet, didn't I? Okay. Okay, so we have, what are our letters today down here? In the middle here,
Where are you? Second?
yeah,
Oh,
the second, the purple circles.
Vet and Dalet.
Okay, yeah, so vet and dalet. So we already know we have vet, and the only difference between vet and vet is what again?
The dot in the middle.
The dot, which is also known as a dagesh. Okay, now we have a new vowel here, okay? And we'll talk about that later, but all it is it's called a hataf patak, okay? It's just an A, and it's a fast A, okay? So just think of it as an A, and you'll be fine. So we have the new letter, we have vet, dalet, and hataf patak. And hataf you can think of as half. It's half of a patak, okay? So if you think of a patak as a half patak is ah. That's it. So it's half of the sound. Okay. So all together, can you guys start on the right and just read me all your letters so far?
Vet.
Yeah.
Tav. Tav. Shin. Mem. Lamed. Kaf. Ha. Resh. Kaf.
Yep. So what is this one instead of ha? What is the real name of it?
Hey.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. And then we have 3 vowels. We looked at what vowels already? Anyone else want to try the vowels down here in the circles?
Patak.
Yep.
Mods.
Yep. And the syllable breaker one is called
Shabbat.
Shabbat. Got it. All right. Okay. So let's do line okay, actually let's do line 1. Let me hear line 1 for you guys. So everyone can read it together. Ready?
Va. Va.
Yeah.
Va.
Vav.
V.
Yep.
Va.
Yep.
Va.
Yep.
V.
Right. So I'm just making sure that you remember that. Okay. Line 2, the first one and the second one. So just do the first and the second one. So line 2, the second one is what?
Ha.
Ha. Right. And then what would be the second one?
Ha.
So it's still ha, just one is faster than the other. If you put those together, you're saying ha ha, right? Okay. So let's try line 4. So one person read line 4, the first one, and then everyone take a turn. So line 4, who wants to start?
Love.
Yep. And then someone else now?
Rav.
Yep. So
Hala.
hala, I think that was Mickey, hala, right?
Right.
And then Donald?
Shav. You might have stepped away.
Oh, yep, Shav. Okay. Okay. 5. So let's try it again. 5.
Levat.
Yes, Lavat. How do we know how we broke up that word? What's the cue to tell us how to break up that word?
The Shavah.
Yeah. So the Shavah is saying, hey, Lavav, Lavat. Okay. also, do you notice when I say lavat, I'm not going vat. I'm kind of putting a little bit of lay in there, right? Lavat, right? And that's because it's really hard to say a consonant in the beginning of the word without a what?
Vowel.
A vowel, right. So a lot of times when we see those shavas in the beginning of the word, there's going to be a little bit of a tiny bit of an E sound, okay? Lavat. Okay, who's next?
Revav.
Okay, take a look at that.
Oh, Rakav.
Yes, exactly. Okay, who else is next?
Shakur.
Look at it.
Shakar.
Try one more time. There's a flat bottom, very close.
Shavar.
Yes, there you go. Exactly. Okay, and I think is Linda last?
Oh, I did the first one.
Oh, then is Donald back or not?
Ronald.
He might still be
I
gone.
guess not.
Okay, so what is the last word?
Shavta.
Shavta. Exactly. And because we have the Shiva in the middle, that tells us what?
That's
Breaks the
break.
vowel.
Exactly. It breaks it right in the middle. Okay, perfect. Okay. Now let's go to our next page, 22, 23. Okay, let me make it. Okay, so I did not print you out a homework page because I had everything I could do to get this to you, okay? So all together, I just want us to do line 1 all together, and I will do it with you. So these are what I call speed drills, okay? So I want to remind people that these are things that even though it's like, wow, Madison, this is kind of what little kids do. But I just want to remember the goal is to read it once or twice and then maybe go back like a week later and read it faster. So for instance, line 1 is ba, ka, va,
Ah,
yep, bob,
Um,
and then
Kama.
kama, yep, and then
Kama.
yep, okay. So let's go to line 4. Let's go to the hard stuff right away. So someone take the first word in line 4.
Malha.
Close.
Malka.
Malcha. Okay, the reason why that's a harder cough is always think of it if there's a dot in the middle, that vowel has to get rid of it if it's like a cough. So if it's malcha, you want to get the cha, you know what I mean, gargly. So malcha. And malcha is the Hebrew word for queen. So malcha, if we talk about the Shabbat queen, when we sing the Kadodi, and this is this is the word queen, macha. Okay. So can someone read the second line or the second word in the fourth line?
Mal.
Okay, malkat, right? So we got that. Okay. Now, what about this one?
Kala.
Kala. Okay. So this on Shimini Azaret and Simchat Torah, I was named the Shabbat or the Kala of the 5784. I was the bride of the Torah. Kala ha Torah, which is bride of the Torah, and ha is the bride. Kala ha Torah. So this is Kala, and that means bride. Okay. And who's reading the next one?
Malkata.
Okay, so it's ma lach ta. So you were super close, weren't you, Donald?
Yeah, I see where the kuf is silent. So the
So
malakta.
so what you're seeing is that's that shava breaker in the middle. So it's ma and then lach, right? And then ta. So ma lach ta, exactly. Okay. So who's next?
It's the same. Malakta.
Sort of. Did you notice the last letter?
Yes.
Well, it's silence. That'd be malakt. Malak.
Malat. Yeah. So this is a word fragment. It's not really a word, but it'd be malachta. Exactly. It'd be basically the same thing with no. This would be part of a different word, by the way. So this would be maybe like a little tiny of that invisible E sound. There's very few words that you ever see two schwas in a row. In fact, I can't even, I don't know, very few words that you will ever see two schwas in a row. Okay, so, okay. And then we're going to do the same thing. This word is, what letter is this again? We're working on what letter down here?
Dalit?
Dalit, right. And on line 3, we have, so let's read line 3 together. Ready? So line 3 is
Dal.
Da,
Yeah.
ra,
Ra, yep.
Da,
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 ra,
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 da,
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 ru.
ru.
Okay. So I know you know this, but I had you read that line because what?
Those letters look alike.
Exactly. And Resh, we know the difference between Resh and Dalit because of what? What's the thing that tells them apart?
The roof.
Resh, well, Resh is round on the end, right? It has the
Right.
round. And then Dalit is flat and it's like a door, right? Okay. So here we go. Okay. Then on the next page. Okay. So let's see. Who wants to start? I want everyone to take a line. So take so Linda, can you start and take the first line?
Dar.
Or Donald, that's fine. You read the first line.
First line. So da,
Yep, yep,
dar,
yep.
var, vara. It's a brick. It's var. Var.
So that's Bada.
But okay. And then the other was just ba. What are we on? They're a fourth character?
You're on the
Fourth letter?
now.
Fourth.
On line
So it'd
one,
be,
on line 1, you're on the 4th word in line 1.
so it'd be var,
Bar, yep, yep,
and then dash
correct.
and var and varsh.
No,
Dash
that's
and varsh.
round.
Dash and varsh
So it's Dash, right?
and Rosh.
And Rosh, right. Okay, someone take line 2.
dash,
Okay,
dot,
yep,
dal,
mm-hmm,
da,
yep,
dar,
yep,
dav.
perfect. Okay, who's got line 3? It's what, Linda or Mickey?
Mad.
Mod,
Yeah, Mod, yep, keep going.
chad,
Yep,
bada,
correct.
shada,
Yes,
had,
yep,
and rod.
yep. So on the last one, Mickey, I always tease my young kids that that's rad, but it isn't. I just say, here, you guys are rad. Okay, so who has line 4?
I guess I do.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I'm trying. My old eyes are having trouble reading the
Oh.
vowels.
You want it bigger?
No, that's okay. Oh, yeah, that was better. Dala,
Okay.
Davar, Davash,
Uh-huh.
Lamad. I
Yeah.
think that's a Dalit. Hadar,
Yep.
Dara.
Yep, exactly. Okay, who gets 5?
Oh, that's
Okay.
me. Lavar.
Lavad, it's a dot. I don't know if it's too small for you to see. It's a dalet at the end.
Oh, okay. I was looking at something. It's the vad. The ha, so just the ha.
Yeah, daha. Yeah.
And it'd be the rash,
Mhm. Correct.
shada,
Yeah. Shaddad. Yeah.
and the shat,
Dasha. Yeah.
madan.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Who gets 6? Everyone's like, not me.
I'll try it, but it's gonna be ugly.
That's okay.
Hamara.
Okay. So ha,
Ha.
ma,
Ma.
ra.
Ra.
Yeah. Hamara. So you pretty good. The only reason why I stopped you, Ted, is whenever there's a ha in the
Mhm.
beginning, it usually always is like that's the first syllable. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but yes, that was great. Tov meod.
Da mara. Da mara.
No R's in the second one.
Da
Exactly.
ma.
Yes. Halakha.
Halakha.
And that's an actual real word.
Ha.
Halakha. Anyone ever hear of halakha before? So halakha is Jewish law.
Ah. Halakha.
So when I'm planning liturgy, I have to go look up the Jewish law every week. I look up the halakha. Okay, so here we go.
Ha da ra.
Mhm.
Ha va ra.
Yes, exactly. Okay, who's going to try 7?
Bat, batha,
Okay,
batha.
so that
It's
one
a
is,
Greek,
it is, but the first one is a cough. So we have,
and it's a the second one is a
Tav.
yeah. So it's kat, va. Right? Do you see that now? So you have your kaf, kametz, and tav, and then you have your vet and your kamat. So chat, va,
hatva.
chat, va. Okay, you want to try another one? And you're not going to do this whole line, Ted. So you can try the next one.
La, la, lava, lavash, lavash, lavashta.
Yeah, la, vash, ta. Perfect. And that's this rule. You see, the la is the same that I told you guys about ha. When you get a la or a ha at the end, that kind of almost always tells you that that's the first syllable. Think about in French where you say, oh, and I can't even think of the word anymore. I had 3 words. You know, when we say, anyone remember a French word that has la in front? It just, I lost all my words. Or if we have a you know, la something, it's like a little, it's a little vowel or a little word in front. And that's the same thing here. If you have a ha or a la in front of a word, it's usually pretty safe to say that that's going to be your first syllable. So, okay, now we were on the 3rd in line 7. Does anyone want to try the next 2 words?
Lamata,
Okay,
la,
lam is
and
the
the
first.
lam,
Yeah.
da.
Yeah, exactly. Lambda. So if we were in Greek, that would be something different, right? But we're in Hebrew. Okay.
Yes.
Who's going to try the next word?
Darachta.
Okay. Da, rach, ta. Great. Okay. And you gonna try the next one too?
Mud-da.
Okay, so not as much as you thought it was, but pretty close. So the first
Mud.
word, yeah,
Da.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So Madda, that was perfect. Okay, who's gonna try line 8, or do you want me to sound these out together with you?
I'll do the first word.
Sure, perfect.
Havdalah.
Okay, Havdalah. Perfect. Okay, anyone want to try the second one, or do you want me to sound it out with you?
Larisha.
Okay, so I heard someone say something. So
Rasha.
da, rasha. Yeah, so we have our D there, our D sound there, and we have the shava. So da, ra, sha. Exactly. So darasha. So not quite really a word, but okay. Someone want to try the next one?
Halacha.
Okay. Ha, la, ha, halacha. And that is a word. Okay. And what's the next one?
Baraka.
Baracha. So we have, and I can't say this, baracha. So this is actually a word. So we have a baracha. So when we say it in Judaism, okay, you guys said it fine. But when we say it in Judaism, we say, like we're saying, can you please say the bracha before we eat our apple? Can you please say the bracha before we eat our bread, right? So it's bracha. And this darosh is basically kind of close to a word, but not really a word that we know. So, but basically it's something about the head, and we'll leave it there. The drasha is technically, I never see it this way, but it's technically one of the beginning of the parsha. The drasha is the first, I think it's like the first word or something. I can't remember what it exactly is. And what is the last word again, guys, all together?
Havdalah.
Havdalah, right. Okay, now let me show you this, because we're not going to do this part. Is 25. Okay. This is the homework page. So these last 2 pages, all homework. So it's just standard. Okay. And line on the word play, just remember that when you put these together, this is how we're breaking up words. This is why I kind of took the time to say this is the first part of it. So we have sha here and we have val here. And when you put the word together, it's shava, right? So it's kind of showing you again, lines 1 through 6. The first part of it is showing you how these words look when they're broken up into pieces. And then when you put them together, this is how they look. Okay. So what you're doing is you're saying, hey, this is the first syllable. This is the second syllable. This is how we do it. So I don't remember if you guys remember in school when we were young, the teacher would go k, a, t. Then she'd go k, at, cat, until she finally mixed them together. This is exactly what we're doing. Okay. No one has any questions about this, right? Because this is pretty standard the way we've been doing it, right? Okay. And there's one more thing I wanted to show you. Classwork was last week. Oop, let me go down. It's too big. Okay, how is everybody doing is everybody able to practice your pink papers?
Yep.
Okay, because what I'm going to be doing hopefully soon is going through and taking something similar to the pink papers, and it'll be like a little test for you just to kind of see how you think you're doing. Like I said, there's no grading, nothing on that, but it's just somewhat similar. So you may want to go back and review your pink papers, and I'm hoping to get you some more pink papers for this week. I had to remember where we left off, and that's where I stopped. I can't remember the last pink paper page. Ted, do you know the last pink paper page I had? Because I know you're following along in the book, right?
I
No?
I want to.
That's okay. If you don't, that's okay. I have it written down. I just don't have it with me right now.
I got to Yud, but I'm not sure if that's where you stopped or not.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last thing that I had for you was, I had started with the Noach words, but I didn't get that uploaded. So next week we're going to have to do the Noach words, and because unfortunately I didn't have enough time to load that. Okay. So let me come back to here. Let me stop presenting. Okay. Okay. Let me go and let me stop recording. Oh, here we go. There we go. Stop recording. Okay, we are stopped recording.